Hello, and thank you for watching Real Health TV. My name is Charles Smith, and I am a co-host as well as the creator of this show. This show was brought about because I was losing so many friends and loved ones to ailments that were either preventable, treatable, or curable. And these people had insurance. So having insurance in and of itself is not the answer. One of the biggest problems that most people who have insurance do not go to see the doctor on an annual basis. And getting your annuals are the first steps to opening up the opportunity of early detection that opens you up to a world of opportunity for alternative methods. Now, I'm not a doctor, nor is Christi or Shun, my co-host. Yet, we are concerned individuals who some have had some of their own battles with ailments, but we are concerned people who are just trying to get out information so that you can have more of a proactive stance in your healthcare. Now, we're not against pharmaceuticals, but we are against pharmaceuticals being your beginning and your end of your treatment. We just ask that you take this information and consult with your doctor. And in doing so, hopefully you and your doctor can come up with a game plan to help you deal with whatever ailment you may come up against. Now, Christi and Shun are on the couch right now, ready to speak to you and share some wonderful information. Check out whatever golden nuggets that they may give to you. Some you may know, some you may not. But let's just all come together and learn together as we go on this quest of having some real health. See you back in a minute.
During the day, our body is, our cells are rejuvenating and healing. During the day, it's, I believe, between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. is when the heart starts to do its thing, and that's when people notice that they have heart issues, is because they start having palpitations between those times. And so there's a clock. Our body is set up on a clock to renew itself.
So what do you think is going on with me? Because I feel like I need to take a nap during that time.
You need to take a nap. Your heart or whatever may need to rest. It just may need to rest. It's not overworked. It just needs to rest.
Yes. What would be the signs or symptoms of an individual that needs to detox?
Oh, wow. It just really depends. I mean, so our body speaks to us throughout the day.
But are they listening?
Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes when our body speaks to us, we're so used to it being our normal. You can be in pain and live in pain. People have lived in pain for years, and it's their normal. Yeah. And so they're ignoring the signs that your body is saying, and your body will tell you something is wrong, and that's when you need to take yourself to the doctor.
Right.
And so I think signs of a detox may be inflammation. Mm-hmm. People have inflammation a lot of times and may not realize that they have inflammation going on in the body. And some of the signs of that is congestion, headaches, heart palpitations, aches and pains. There are just so many different signs. Excess mucus, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and we all know that many diseases come from inflammation.
Right. So, what does your body tell you when you need to detox?
Well, when I know that I need to detox, and I know that I may have quite a few toxins going on in my body, I start to have pain in my shoulders, and in my back, and sometimes in my joints. And that's when I know, okay, I have some inflammation going on, and I need to take extra measures, because I detox on a regular basis. And it's sometimes, and there are so many different types of detoxes and different things you can do to detox different parts of your body. And so for me, when I know that I'm having an issue with inflammation, I know what detox I need to take.
Right.
There's no one detox for one person. I mean, everybody has their own type of, even though there are so many different detoxes out there.
So how does it affect your energy level?
It makes a huge difference in your energy level. because you're getting congestion out. It's just like when your nose is congested or you have a great deal of congestion going on in your head. Once you clear that out, you feel better. I mean, so in that alone will afford you the opportunity to have more energy. So one of the detoxes that I do that a lot of people don't like to talk about are coffee enemas.
Yes.
Yeah, and it is something that is beneficial for both your gallbladder and your liver, because you're really detoxing your liver, because that's where everything, your blood and everything, filters through your liver.
Let me ask you this real quick with the coffee enema. So it's not a cream and sugar coffee enema, right?
Absolutely not. It's not a coffee that you can even consume by drinking.
Really?
It's an actual enema coffee, and the reason being is that it's so high in caffeine, and it's for the purpose of detoxing, and so it's not a coffee that you should drink. It's.
So are you saying that you can't make your own coffee enema, or is it you go to the store and it says coffee enema?
Right. That's absolutely right. I mean, some people use folders. I wouldn't suggest it. A good organic coffee would be beneficial, but for optimal enema cleansing, I would suggest that people would use an enema coffee, and you can find those on Amazon.
Oh, so you wouldn't just go to the store and purchase a coffee?
Because you have to think about where your colon, it's going through your colon, and we have all these pores in your colon that absorb anything that's in your colon. That's why it's so important to keep your colon clean. And so if you are putting something into your colon that's not pure or organic or safe, then your body is absorbing that. So it's important to have something that's fit for your colon and organic.
What about habits versus heritage? A lot of things are habitual.
Right.
And certain things are passed down.
Right.
Now, I started off in the medical field, dental assisting. Now, when I gone to school, I learned something in school the first day that I thought my family I feel like it's a parent's responsibility. Now, we've heard this cadence every morning in so many black households. Get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, and come eat.
Right.
When that's not the way it should go. You're supposed to brush your teeth after eating. And if you don't, then that's when the consequences of cavities come in.
Right.
And other oral diseases.
Right.
And I just, I don't know where in the hell it came from.
Right.
Because
so
it's like
somewhere.
Right, because every black household that I'm aware of, that I've been in, that I grew up in, every village that I'd stepped into, I heard that every morning. Get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, and come eat.
Right.
So we have generations of that being passed down.
Right.
And we see cavities, the children losing their teeth young.
Right.
Parents not being able to hold on to their teeth, or the teenagers having root canals. Oh, and a root canal is a very expensive temporary fix. And me personally, as a dental assistant, every root canal ends up in an extraction from an oral surgeon. If not, it should be. A root canal is just like taking the heart out of the body.
Right.
So it's taking the nerve out of the tooth, and you're left with the shell.
Right.
A lot of doctors get over financially by doing a root canal, because you have to do a root canal post corona crown, and then after that it has to be extracted by an oral surgeon, and what you're going to do to replace it.
Right.
Okay, replacement is very important. Implants, by the time you spend money on a root canal, post-corona crown, you could have paid for a simple extraction and had an implant placed for that same price, less grief.
Right.
So it's about, what do you find important? What's priority to you, for you? What works best for you? But I feel like we've been taught things backwards.
Right.
And it's time to re-educate our people. And I'm not just saying black people. I'm talking about the miseducated people.
Absolutely. And something I'd like to add to that is one of the things that I've heard my entire life growing up is just the whole concept that if your mother had cancer, your grandmother had cancer, you most likely are going to have cancer, and that is absolutely not true. Just in my own family, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was told that since at one point in time my mother had it and it was caught early, my grandmother, aunts, and all my grandmother's sisters, and so I was doomed to have it, and I never believed that because I never believed that something like that could be passed down. I had what's called a BRCA test, and that's where they go in and do the genetic testing. There was no mutation whatsoever. So what that meant is that it would not have been caused by a gene. And so when I was actually diagnosed, I had to ask the question, okay, if it's not a gene, but all these women in my family at one point in time were diagnosed with it, where did that come from? And I realized that a great deal of that was thought processes that were passed down, bad habits of eating, the types of foods and nutrition that were taken in that helped contribute to make this perfect storm of something called cancer. But it was not hereditary. It had nothing to do with being hereditary. It had to do with habits that were passed down, as you were saying, habitual. So I think it's important to know that you can change your health, even with, as you were saying about, waking up in the morning, brush your teeth, and it's up to you to understand what needs to change in your life, and for me, what I like to help people to understand and educate people on is you have to start in your head. Once you're educated and you know something, or even if you're not educated, get educated. And once you find out what it is that you need to do in your life to change whatever it is, whether it's health issues, relationship issues, you have to change that within yourself. You have to change your mind, your thought processes. Because everything that your mama taught you is not right. Everything that your daddy taught you is not right. And just because it was passed down and their mother taught them or their father taught them, that doesn't make it right.
Right.
And I think you made a very good point, even with the root canals. And it's just so, I think that in our community that's something that once you're told that you have to have that done, then you jump and do it. And
you're trusting,
right.
You're putting your trust, it's like 100% trust in someone that you don't know.
Absolutely.
and that doesn't know you.
Right.
And a lot of times the suggested route is not at your best interest.
Exactly.
So, but when do we say enough is enough? Mm-hmm. How do we know who to trust and where to go? And then what do you do when you run up on a bad relationship with a doctor?
Right.
I feel, as me personally, I've had some good relationships and some bad relationships.
Right.
And from the medical aspect and non-medical, but I keep it the same across the board. If it doesn't work, let it go.
Right.
If you don't believe in an individual, if you don't trust what they're saying, if they're not patient enough with you to help you understand what they're saying, maybe it's time for you to go. I don't believe in forcing relationships.
Right. And I think it also goes to self-education. I think that we need to get to a point to where we educate ourselves and not have to listen to everything that we're told. You know, we're told different things by different doctors, and then if you overhear the doctor in the next room and he's telling the patient in the next room the same exact thing, and that doesn't make it right. And so I think that before doing anything with any illness or any treatments that's being suggested, that it's so important to educate yourself, do the research. Google has everything on it that you can imagine, and before making any decisions, educate yourself.
Right. Now we have to be, a little bit conservative with the Google, because Google can cause hypochondriacs.
Absolutely.
Like you would not believe.
Men finding themselves pregnant, by the
right. So I want to ask you this: when do you feel it's most important to take your ass to the doctor?
Well, Shun, I'm glad you asked me that question.
Yeah.
Because I find it personally important when my body starts to speak. I mean, like I said earlier, our bodies speak to us all day long. And if something is out of balance, because that's what's most important, your body needs to be in balance. And when something's out of balance, your body will tell you. It's not a secret. If nobody else knows, you know, because you know your body. And I think once we get to that point that we are living with certain issues and concerns and pains, like I said earlier, that in itself is not normal.
Right.
So for me personally, and to answer your question, if something is not right, if I feel like something is out of balance, and it's something that I can't put back into balance, and I've tried, then that's probably when I would take my ass to the doctor.
Right. So what would be your first step in trying to gain the balance back?
I'm the detox queen.
Right.
So I think
you'll start off with a detox.
Yeah, I would start with a detox. Before the detox, I would have to probably get into a meditation mode where I can just sort of try to figure out what's going on. But definitely detoxing, because a lot of times when our bodies are out of balance, it's because something is there that should not be there. And many times detox can help us get back in balance. We all have parasites, good and bad. And I think, a parasite cleanse is one way to help someone to get back into balance.
So what do you think a person can start a detox from at home, or if they're just beginning to wanting to learn about detox, where do you think they should start?
Well, I think there are health food stores. There's so much information out there. You can go to a health food store and speak to someone. When I started detoxing, it was years ago. And my kid's grandmother actually educated me probably when I was 17, 18 years old, and on detoxing. But for someone that doesn't have that person that has, educated them on that, I think starting at a health food store and talking to people there that are educated on that, or just speaking to someone that is educated, to help them get to a point to where they can understand what they need to do and where to start.
So, and I agree with you. I believe that going to your doctor, and if you feel out of balance, going to your doctor and first of all getting a CBC. Get the borderline blood work done and see where you stand before you try to fix things yourself. I think that make sure you have enough rest. you're properly hydrated, and you have had enough nutrition, not just meat and potatoes. You need vegetables. Those vegetables contain essential vitamins for health, everyday living. And if you don't get that in, then of course you're going to be out of balance. But how you start, check your blood work and go to the doctor and see what he says. I'm not saying believe everything, and I'm not saying give the guy or the lady a hard time. Just go see where you are, baseline, borderline. And I believe that you should get a checkup once a year,
Right.
at least.
Absolutely.
I go on my birthday. That's my anniversary and my birthday present to me. Even though I see the doctor more than I really care to see him. But I feel that everybody should get a checkup. Don't be afraid to get a checkup. How else would you know where you are if you don't check up on yourself?
Christi and Shun shared some things about detoxing. They shared some things about just water intake or when your body basically rejuvenates itself. And these are things that we need to know if we're going to live a healthy lifestyle. Now, we're going to be coming to you on a quite frequent basis, but we need your input to know what type of shows that you're interested in, what are the topics, and what are your concerns, so that we can all learn and grow together. Now, we ask that you take a moment and go to the website, go to the contact page, and leave us your questions and your concerns. We would love to hear from you, and we hope that you would become really engaged in the show and share it with your friends and your relatives and anyone that you care about. We're here to assist you as best we can. And for any of you healthcare practitioners, those that are of Western medicine or Eastern medicine or any other alternative method practice, please contact us. Maybe we could have you on the show. We would love to. So with that in mind, please continue to tune in to realhealthtv.org. Check out our website, and you can look at us on Facebook under Real Health. I'd love to hear from you, and until next time, take care, and let's get some real health going. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.
Move with the grooves, move like that, and now we move with the grooves, move like